We all celebrate Christmas with Santa Claus and his gifts. But what's his story? And why is he called Santa Claus?
Every once a year when Christmas comes, I pack my sled with dolls and drums, and I'm on my way with happiness for little girls and boys.
The true story of Santa Claus begins with Saint Nicholas, who is called the Wonder Worker. Saint Nicholas was born during the 3rd century in the village of Patara in Lycia, province of Asia Minor. At the time, the area was Greek and is now on the southern coast of Turkey. He was the only son of wealthy Christian parents who raised him to be a devout Christian after God had answered their prayers for many years to have a child. He was very religious from an early age, and it is said that he kept the canonical fasts of Wednesdays and Fridays since he was a baby. His wealthy parents died in an epidemic while Nicholas was still young, and then he was raised by his uncle, also named Nicholas, who was the bishop of Patara, and God had declared to his uncle in a vision that this boy would be a man of God who would lead his church.
Growing up, he lived a pious life pursuing God. When his parents died during a plague, Nicholas was left with a huge inheritance. Instead of spending it on himself, he fed the hungry, clothed the naked, and helped those in debt to moneylenders.
Obeying Jesus' words, if you want to be perfect, go, sell what you have, and give to the poor, and you will have a treasure in heaven. And come, follow me. Nicholas used his whole inheritance after the departure of his parents to help the needy, the sick, and the suffering.
One of his acts of kindness gave us our tradition of hanging Christmas stockings. Legend has it that a father was about to be forced to marry off his daughters to pay his debts. Knowing the man couldn't pay the debts himself, Nicholas crept into the house while everyone was asleep and left 3 bags of gold. One is said to have fallen into a stocking drying by the fireplace. Nicholas was so generous with his wealth, he lived the life of a pauper and at times had nowhere to lay his head except the house of God. Seeing how much he sacrificed for others, the church elected Nicholas bishop.
Anti-Arianism and defender of the Orthodox Christian creed against the heresy of Arius. He departed on December the 6th, 343, and was buried in his cathedral church in Myra, Demre, Turkey, till year 1089.
Over the centuries, many traditions were associated with St. Nicholas, but it was the act of giving gifts on the anniversary of his early December death that became the most popular. In Nicholas's day, people believed that angels wrote names down in the Book of Life. That transitioned into elves, keeping a record of the naughty and nice. Around the world, there are many different images of Father Christmas, from Père Noël in France to the German gift giver, Sinterklaas, who rides a donkey. Countries such as Norway and Sweden didn't have many horses or donkeys, so Nicholas got around riding a reindeer. And the 8 tiny reindeer we've all heard about? Well, that was Clement Moore's creation in his 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nick, or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And just like the belief that Jesus and the saints will return to earth from a celestial city, the New Jerusalem became St. Nicholas's home and workshop at the North Pole. So many of our Christmas traditions find their origins in the Bible and with this pious saint.